So yeah, I am in Iceland now. It's been a long time coming with COVID and everything. First time being out of the country in far too long. So why Iceland? Well, mainly because Norway's closed, Iceland is open, and there happens to be an active volcano here right now.
Then, on March 19th, volcanologists reported the world's newest volcano had burst open, unleashing a spectacular fountain of lava from a tear in the Earth's crust.
So it's been a pretty long day. Flew overnight from JFK, arrived fairly exhausted. I got the COVID test done, which was about as much fun as everyone said it would be. I just had a weird thought today that technically right now, I'm not allowed back in the United States. I'm here at Solheimajökull Glacier. It's the perfect spot for drone flying because there is no one here. I'm only here for a short time, finally get to travel again, so gotta make the most of it. Right before I started recording, I heard this really loud noise, look behind me, and a relatively small chunk of ice broke off of that. And I can't imagine what a huge chunk of ice would have sounded like being this close to it. Like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine. Then it just echoes off of all these mountains surrounding us here. This feels wild right now. There's nobody here. Oh, well, of course, now that I say that, I see two people over there. But other than those two people, this whole area has been deserted. The clouds rolled in, so there's probably only 2 cars in the parking lot right now. I love this feeling of being out here in this huge expanse next to a glacier, with no one else around except for those 2 people. Kind of ruined the moment. Gotta get home. Hopefully tomorrow I can get some nice shots of my home. It's this awesome Icelandic horse farm. It's pretty sweet. So get back there, charge up some drone batteries, get ready for hopefully another long day of flying tomorrow. Oh. Found my way back to the trail. Here we go. I got up at about 5:30 this morning. I need to go to Keflavik, it's about an hour and a half away, and get another COVID test, and they'll give me like a full certificate with my name and other information on it that will prove to the airline that I'm COVID free. The weather's looking really good for the volcano. Last night I saw some videos where it was just going nuts, so fingers crossed for a good day today. Guess it's time to head out now. Okay, so I just got done with the second COVID test, and it was much worse than the first one. My nose feels awful right now. My eyes teared up so much. I thought I did all the research. I thought I came prepared. I knew where to be, when to be there. I knew how much it was gonna cost, all that stuff. But I get there, and everyone's pulling out their phone and like scanning a barcode, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's the barcode that I got to get into the country. Apparently that barcode is basically your ticket for a test, and I already used mine. I go to sign up for a test, and it asks for a location, doesn't give me the location that I need, so I had to ask the person what to do, and she was like, oh, it's the only one, you just have to choose that and keep going. So I did that, and then when I went to pay for it, the form didn't work. It just sort of froze, so I had to reset it, do the whole thing again. So I was the last one out, but you know, whatever. I should get my test results within a day, I think. Hopefully that goes well, and then I can get back home in a couple days. So I finally made it. I'm here checking out the volcano site. It's pretty incredible seeing it up close. The size of it is just unbelievable, and I can barely see most of it because it's crazy foggy right now. So I'm hoping in 2 days the fog will have moved on. I heard people saying the rest of today is probably going to be like this, but after 2 days I think it should be cleared up, and hopefully I can get a little bit closer to the source, hopefully see some actual lava flows. I think it was within the last week, there's a guy that got lost out here because of fog and wound up being out here for I think 28 hours or something like that before the rescue teams found him. And at first I was like, oh, that's pretty stupid. How can that happen? How could you get lost in a place like this? But when there's fog this dense, I can easily see that happening. Got a huge day tomorrow, huge road trip, and come back here Friday for hopefully some better weather and some real lava action. is a beautiful day in Iceland. It's kind of funny because the last time I tried to come out this far east in Iceland, the road was closed because of high wind. I can hardly believe this because Iceland is not known for great weather. The last day was very rainy and foggy, and the drive here was kind of rainy and foggy in the morning, and now it's just beautiful. I had to stop here because this has been like this for miles, just like purple and green everywhere. It's hard to imagine what this place is like without being here. So today is the big day. I'm going to try to make it to Diamond Beach, which is about 4 hours away from my home base. Kind of a long day since I'm doing out and back and a couple stops along the way. There's like 20 hours of daylight this time of year. It's more so just, am I going to have the energy to do that much driving? But if it's as beautiful as this, I don't think it'll be a problem. So now I'm headed to Fjarðargljúfur. Pretty sure I nailed that. I'm gonna keep driving. I have about 50 minutes, I think, until I get to the next stop. I'm sure there's gonna be tons of places I wanna stop, but I gotta make sure I'm not stopping too often because I'm gonna be doing at least 8 hours of driving today. And I gotta make sure I get back before I fall asleep. All right, so the canyon was pretty awesome. I'm only about an hour and 15 minutes away from Diamond Beach, which this has just flown by. You can actually see where I'm going. Right back there, that huge glacier. It just sort of looks like a mountain of ice. That's where I'm headed. There's a national park there. Vatnajökull National Park, I think, something like that. There's a couple glaciers there I want to see. Well, that was weird. It's actually like really hot today. My car doesn't have air conditioning because it's Iceland, but I really feel like I could use air conditioning right now. So I'm gonna go cool off at Diamond Beach, hopefully. Finally made it. 4 hours later, I'm here at Diamond Beach. This place is pretty incredible. After crossing what basically felt like the desert of Iceland, I'm now here. There's ice in the river behind me, and there's a ton of ice on the beach over there, which I'm gonna get to in a second. There's less people here, so I figured I'd stop here first. But yeah, this is just nuts. Look at the sand here. One thing I forgot to mention was that I finally got my second COVID test result back, and it was negative. Unsurprising since I am vaccinated, and Iceland, I don't believe, is getting any new COVID cases these days, so it feels good to know that I have my ticket home and they'll let me on the plane tomorrow. I'm gonna go check out some more ice on the beach over there. Well, that was a lot more impressive than I expected, to be honest. That was unbelievable. I felt like I was out in the middle of nowhere for the last 2 hours driving through basically the desert of Iceland, and then I get here and there's just hundreds of people everywhere. But still a good time. Had a blast filming the birds feeding in the rapids over there. Basically what's happening is ice chunks are breaking off from that gigantic glacier behind me, and they're flowing into this lagoon. Then they're flowing out through the river into the ocean. Some of the ice chunks settle on the beach then. I'm glad I came all the way out here to do this. It's gonna be a long day. I'm gonna get back late. I sort of wanted to be back at 8. It's now 4:30. I still have some stops on the way home. I didn't want to hit everything on the way here. I wanted to hit some stuff on the way back to break up the trip. I'm gonna be exhausted, but really glad I came out here to do this. Okay, I've made it to the glacier, or at least getting there. The road that leads to it is closed. Definitely gonna get home late, but it's all right. It's not too far. Glacier's back there. There's another one over there. I'm going to this one. This will definitely make it less crowded because it is kind of a long walk, and there's barely even a parking lot for this. There's only room for like 5 cars, so should have the place almost to myself. It took a lot longer than I thought it would, but there is no one here. I'm pretty exhausted now, but man, this is a crazy feeling being this far out in the middle of nowhere. It's almost 7 o'clock and I'm like 3.5 hours away from home, I think. So I don't know how long it took me to hike here. I'll time it on the way back, but get the drone up and then I probably won't make too many stops on the way home because I gotta get to bed and get ready for some volcano action tomorrow, hopefully. The size of this is just incredible. Compared to the last glacier I flew at, this one is like huge. I didn't even realize, I think I am at the completely wrong spot because a huge chunk of the glacier is over there and that I can barely see it. I think that just about does it for today. I'm gonna head back to the car. Probably one of the most action-packed days I've ever had traveling. I hit so many places. I'm running out of battery power on the drone. But it's totally worth it. Anyway, I need to get back to the car. Just started the hike. It's a beautiful day, much better than I thought it was going to be. The live stream on YouTube this morning didn't show much activity, so hopefully it'll pick up by the time I get there. I'm just gonna hike there as quick as I can. We'll see what we get. Oh, also, I was an idiot and forgot my water bottle at the Airbnb. I have a little bit of soda for today and no water, but it's not hot, so I'm sure I'll survive. So the path closed sign was still there. I think it's because the officials or the experts or whatever, they don't come here until noon, and the weather was bad the last 2 days, so the trail's probably closed yesterday, so they just haven't had time to move the sign yet. And now I see there's a bunch of people up there, so it's a perfect day like today. I'm sure the trail will be fine. This might be one of the stupidest things I've done on a hike, bringing no water and going on a trail that is closed, but at least now I see people up there, so we're good. Now I can see the path up there. The volcano is over there, I think. Path goes up to the ridge over there. I think I'm starting to see it up there. It's clearing up just a little bit. Yeah, no, I can definitely see it. I don't know how active it is right now. It's just smoking a little bit, but that is definitely it. So this is bigger than I ever would have imagined it would be. This is just unreal. Like, this was nothing a few months ago. I just can't believe what I'm seeing. Finally made it. It took about an hour to get up here. They said the estimated hiking time for this trail is 3 to 4 hours round trip. So that sounds about right. They usually overestimate that sort of thing. But like, it's hard to explain to you how big that thing is. I'm sure it doesn't look as big on camera. It's massive. It's unimaginably big. It's kind of intimidating, the idea of flying my drone over there, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put in a fresh memory card. If I lose it, I lose it. You know, I just gotta go for it. Hang out here for probably at least an hour. Hopefully can see some lava. This was it, the moment I had been dreaming of. My heart was racing. Months of anticipation and planning came down to this, and nothing. Not gonna lie, this hurt. The volcano had been active for so long, and as far as I know, hadn't completely shut off like this in the 3.5 months since it started erupting. But I wasn't giving up quite yet. So to kill time while I waited for more activity, I decided to hike from about right here over to this ridge here. To give you a sense of how big this place is, try to find me in this shot. But I had a flight to catch in a few hours, so I needed to push it. This was definitely the hardest I've ever pushed myself on a long hike without having any water. Actually, this was my only long hike without any water. Unfortunately, the volcano stayed inactive. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed. I may even say that I was slightly devastated, especially since the volcano was erupting in full force about 5 hours later while I was on my flight home. However, uncertainty is what makes the best trips great. The potential for disappointment is what gives the best moments meaning when things do work out the way you hoped for. I was fortunate enough to see the northern lights on my first trip to Norway in the winter, and I had a week of perfect weather in Norway in the fall, which is extremely rare. Plus on this trip I had 2 different glaciers to myself with good weather at both. It's crazy to think about. Something as beautiful as a glacier and I was the only person looking at it on 2 different occasions. If you always had the best weather, brightest northern lights, the rarest wildlife, or the most active volcano, those things wouldn't be as special. So yes, I am still disappointed and I'll probably always feel that way, but maybe not, who knows. If the volcano stays active, maybe I'll give it another shot.